Connection to the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez reveal that singer David is now being investigated for her murder.
On September 8, 2025, what began as an ordinary day in the glitzy streets of the Hollywood Hills turned into one of the most shocking and disturbing criminal investigations of the year when a foul, unbearable odor coming from an abandoned Tesla drew the attention of tow yard workers and local police. What they discovered inside would horrify investigators and send shockwaves around the world. The decomposed and dismembered body of a teenage girl, wrapped in bags and hidden in the front trunk, a place no one ever expects to find human remains.
In September, decomposing remains belonging to Rivas Hernandez, who was reported missing in 2024, were found in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to David.
The vehicle, a sleek 2023 Tesla Model Y, was registered in the name of David Anthony Burke, better known globally as D4vd, a 20-year-old Houston-born alt-pop singer whose meteoric rise had recently seen him perform sold-out venues and amass millions of fans with hits like Romantic Homicide. The discovery ignited a criminal investigation that has captivated international media and left many questions unanswered. The teenager was later identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a girl from Lake Elsinore, California, who had been reported missing by her family in April 2024. Authorities confirmed her identity days after the grim discovery, on September 16, 2025, a day after what would have been her 15th birthday. Though she was 14 at the time of her death, the advanced state of decomposition made determining her cause of death extraordinarily difficult. When investigators first opened the Tesla's front storage compartment, they were met with a scene out of a horror film. The black cadaver bag inside was covered with insects and emitted a strong odor of decay. Inside, they found a decomposed head and torso. Beneath it, in a second bag, were the severed arms and legs. Detectives and medical examiners described the remains as so badly decomposed that standard identification methods were required to confirm they belonged to Celeste, who had been missing for over a year. In the days and weeks that followed, law enforcement efforts intensified. The Los Angeles Police Department and the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office launched a deep investigation into the circumstances surrounding her death and how her body came to be in a car owned by a prominent musician. At first, police publicly declined to characterize the case as a homicide, but later filings and court documents clearly show that prosecutors believe foul play may be involved, and they began presenting evidence to a Los Angeles County grand jury as early as November 2025. What made this case particularly explosive was what happened next. In mid-January 2026, grand jury subpoenas were issued seeking testimony from Burke's parents and brother, all residents of Texas, where Burke grew up. Within those subpoena filings, previously sealed but unsealed through a legal challenge in Texas, prosecutors described Burke as the target of the grand jury investigation and stated he may be involved in having committed one count of murder under California law. This designation does not mean he has been charged or arrested, but it does place him at the center of the murder probe, and prosecutors are moving toward possible indictment. Burke and his family have fought those subpoenas, arguing that forcing his parents and brother to travel to California and testify violates their rights. However, a Texas appeals court denied their petitions in early February 2026, and the legal battle continues as higher courts review the orders. Through all of this, Burke has remained a figure cloaked in controversy and silence. When Celeste's body was found, he was in the middle of his withered 2025 world tour, and although he initially continued performing after the discovery, he soon canceled the rest of his U.S. tour dates and shelved planned European shows as the connection to the investigation became public knowledge. His representatives have declined to comment on the ongoing probe, and official statements from the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office have been limited. Law enforcement has also taken unusual measures to limit the public release of details surrounding the teenager's death. In November 2025, A court order blocked the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office from disclosing the cause or manner of Celeste's death, keeping that information sealed from the public as the investigation continues. Authorities have said this is due to the sensitive nature of the case and the potential impact on ongoing proceedings. The case has sparked intense public debate. Fans, true crime followers, and social media users around the world have dissected every snippet of information, trying to understand what happened, how Celeste's body remained hidden in that car for so long, and what connection, if any, Burke had to her death. Some outlets have reported that the Tesla remained parked on a Hollywood street for weeks before it was impounded, ticketed by parking enforcement and only later brought to a tow yard where the stench drew attention. Amid the legal back and forth, Celeste's family continues to grieve an unimaginable loss. Her disappearance had already been a source of anguish for her loved ones when she vanished in 2024 at just 14. Now, with her body discovered in such disturbing circumstances and the investigation dragging on, they're left searching for closure and truth, something that may only come through the slow wheels of the criminal justice system. As of early 2026, no criminal charges have been filed against David, and a grand jury indictment has not been announced. The probe remains active. Grand jury proceedings are underway, and prosecutors continue to gather evidence, hear testimony, and weigh their case. Whether this investigation will lead to formal charges, a trial, or new revelations remains uncertain. What's clear, however, is that the tragic death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez has become one of the most unsettling and closely watched cases in recent American pop culture. A story of fame, mystery, and a grieving family still seeking answers.